Good morning, everybody. I'm Vincent Meza. This is Listings to Leads. And today we're going to talk about Facebook and Google ads. And I would like to ask, because it is the beginning of the year, if you're new to us, please put in the chat panel there how long you've been with us and how you found us. I'm not sure what you know about Listings to Leads. We've been here for about 15 years. We're focused on helping realtors grow their business. And we do this with a lot of advertising tools. Some have to do with social media. Some are electronic, landing pages and things like that. Some tools you can blast out on your CRM with e-flyers, and we also have print tools as well. And of course, we have software from Facebook and Google, which makes running ads on those platforms incredibly easy and usually very successful. So we'll get into that. So there is a lot to the platform. And before we dive into this, I want to make sure that you know that there are resources available for you to learn more. And one is here on, if somebody can send me a question, I'll send these links to everybody in the question panel. Leadgenwebinars.com is where you can sign up for our live, like the one that we're doing today. Here we see Facebook. Scott does something on basically farm marketing. I do Get Started next Monday, and a class for lenders, and another class to get more listings on January 13th. And these are all really helpful, right? They're going to help understand how to use our platform. Now, all of our calls, including the one right now, are all recorded, and they're on this channel here. And let's see here. What is that? Sorry, I see something. Oh, that's message popping up. Well, sure. As I mentioned on Lead Gen webinars, we do these classes. So you'll see it here. Tools for more listings. This is a class for lenders. This is Get Started. And then Facebook and Google, right? And then Scott does some as well. So you can see those here as well. Database mastery and things like that. Really ways to help build your farm. And running ads on Facebook and on Google are part of that. You'll definitely want to have this, find this page and spend some time here. On the top tools for more listings, I think every agent is very focused on getting listings going forward. And I recommend that you watch maybe 2 or 3 of this class, right? Because I don't say exactly the same thing on every call. So these can be helpful if you want really to have a good business of consistent listings. And then lastly, well, not lastly, but this is our mastermind group on Facebook. If you're a client, please ask our support team to get you on this page. Okay. It's for our clients. Scott and I share what's going on from a technology standpoint, but a lot of clients also just say, hey, this is what I did to get more listings. And so this guy, Brian, actually has an office, and he uses our platform pretty extensively. And he's saying, hey, I have been using your expired marketing and I got a listing from that. So there's all kinds of questions and answers in here, other ideas of what agents are doing with our stuff. So you can learn a lot. I really recommend that you scan this page, maybe 5 or 10 minutes every week. You'll get some ideas. You'll see what other people are doing. And I definitely recommend that. That's our mastermind group. I'll leave that open. And I want to get into this document. So I see people coming in. So I want to remind you, I said before we started the class, that there is in the GoToMeeting chat panel is some little button. I think it has a paper clip on it, a piece of paper and a paper clip. And you can open that and download and print these 2 documents. And I recommend that you do just that you download and print this document, which is called Facebook and Google ads, and this one, which is top tools for more listings. Okay. Now you'll notice on the top tools for more listings that some of the ways of getting listings is actually related to Facebook and Google, right? So let's go back to this page, because this is really the core of what we're up to here today. And so on Facebook and Google, if you're new to us, you haven't signed up yet, or if you haven't set up your account, the first part is that you're connecting to the business page on Facebook. Okay. So that's the first thing on that list. So when you're running ads with our platform, it's sponsored by you. It's charging your credit card on Facebook, and the branding is for you. And that's actually really important, because if you run an ad for, let's say, $30 for 7 days, somewhere between 1 to even 3,000 people will see that ad. right, in that 7-day period. And they're going to start to recognize you're a realtor, right? Because it's sponsored by your real estate page. So I definitely recommend running Facebook ads for every agent, especially brand new agents. If you're new to the industry, nobody knows you're a realtor other than a handful of your friends, right? And you're probably competing against 5, 10, 30,000 agents, even more in some areas. So how do you stand out? How do you get your name and your brand recognized? And I think Facebook is a great place to be doing that, right? To build that while you're capturing leads. Now, if we keep going down the list, it says run early stage ads on listings to get buyers, right? Coming soon, just listed open house. I'm going to show you how to do this, but we should just know what we're going to talk about. You run later stage ads and you're going to get seller leads. So if you're running an ad on a home that is pending or under contract or sold, the call to actions is saying that's going to affect your home value. Click here to get your home value. And then we have a bunch of PDF guides, 80 of them, 40 are for buyers, 40 for sellers. You can run ads on those as well. And our clients do that. And they run ads both on Facebook and on Google with the PDF guides. And also they use our landing pages to create ads on Facebook and Google as well. And then lastly, here is a line that says create a custom audience. And this is actually, I think, a really important piece of Facebook targeting. So I don't know if you run ads on Facebook. 5 or 6 years ago, Facebook had incredibly powerful targeting. Okay. Like you could say, I want homeowners in this zip code. I want them to have X income or net worth, things like that. So it's pretty powerful. And then Facebook got sued by HUD for illegal ads, right? And so a lot of those things have been taken away. And the thing that I really suggest, and Scott and I talk about it pretty frequently, is there are companies out there that will sell you a list of homeowners, right? Remind.com, Arch Agent, RedX, Vulcan 7. If you're going to be in the industry for a while, I recommend you start this with your farm market, your number one farm market, and you buy a list of homeowners with more than 5 years equity with their name, phone number, email, and print address. Okay. Now, when you do that, you'll be able to obviously mail some of the tools. Some of our tools, especially when you go look at top tools for more listings, our number one tool is a piece of paper that you mail to people. So if you're mailing it to people with equity, great, right? But if you also upload it into your CRM, you can use our e-flyers. They have all kinds of call to actions, lead capture built in. And then you can also create a custom audience on Facebook and target those exact same people. So if you think about that, if you have this kind of custom audience that you've bought and you've uploaded in Facebook and you're hitting these people with ads on Facebook, you're hitting the same people with direct mail that you're sending to them, and you're hitting the same people with email. This is the best way to hit your target. And your target, if you want more listings, is people who have owned their homes for more than 5 years. So I'll show you where you do that in a little bit. Down there, if we keep going, here's Google. Google is the number one website in the country. It is where 86% of all searches begin on the internet. So it's really wise to be competitive on that website, to be there when somebody types in, how do I sell my home? Or what does it cost to sell my home? Or whatever kind of question. Can you be there with a PDF guide or a home valuation landing page? And the answer is definitely. So let's log in and let's look at it. And I want to start this a little bit differently because I want to just get to the basics really quick, like the things that you absolutely need to know. And I think the one thing you need to know is cost, right? And let me ask if you can put in the chat panel, just yes or no, do you run ads or do you not run ads on Facebook? I'm going to assume none of you run ads on Google. Maybe one out of all of you runs ads on Google. It's actually a horrible experience to go to Google and try to run your own ad. It's just an ugly process. It's not intuitive. It's difficult. And that's why most agents don't do that, right? They may pay somebody to do those ads and they charge an enormous amount, whereas it's not necessary, especially if you have our software here. But let's go over to the ad section here on the left. Now, when you come here the first time, it's going to say connect to your social media. So you're connect to your Facebook, you'll see a blue button, click on it, and it takes you to Facebook and it says, is this you with your name? And you click yes. And then the next page is which business pages do you want to reflect? And those would be your real estate business. Okay. So once you've done that, any ad that you're running on Facebook is going to be sponsored by that business page. They're going to charge the credit card on that business. Okay. Now, I'm going to go over here. You see this blue button that says create audience? This is where you create a custom audience. So let's say you were working in Tampa, right? Any city, and you bought that list from some reputable company. You got their name, phone number, and email, everything that they're going to sell you in that list. You call it whatever the name of the town is, Orinda Homeowners in this case. It has to be 1,000 leads long. Okay. So if you're in a small neighborhood of 500 people, you got to find 500 more people because it will not be used. You won't be able to use it if you do that. It's got to be 1,000 leads long. And the spreadsheet has to look like this. It has to have these headers and those columns of data. That's it. Don't put anything more in there. Now, this is always here, but when you upload it and import it, it's going to live in your Facebook ad account. So you will always have a custom audience of your major target markets, right? That's how you create a custom audience. I think it's wise to do that, especially if you are going to be having more listings in your business. Okay. So let's get into the basics here that I was saying. Let's talk about costs. So here you click on create a Facebook ad. You can create a listing ad, a landing page ad, and a PDF guide ad. Okay. The fastest, easiest way to get buyer leads is to run an ad on a home that is for sale. Okay. Always leave it on lead ads. I think every ad that you run, you don't want to be doing traffic. And I know that a landing page can capture traffic, but here's the thing about lead ads. When somebody sees your ad on Facebook and they click on it, this little window pops up like a chat. Would you like that information? Would you like your home value? And there's one answer, yes, submit my info. And their info is automatically pulled from their profile and sitting in that box. So if they want the answer, they don't have to type in their name or their phone number or email or their time frame of whether they want to buy it. So it's there. It's pulled in automatically. Now the time frame, what they want to sell, they do have to click a button, but their name, phone number, and email are there now. I don't know if you've experienced it with Facebook when you try to log in. Sometimes, hey, we're going to send you a code or a text to get in because we're just being secure here. So if you don't have your right phone number in there, you're not going to get back in your account. So these numbers are typically very accurate. Okay. So all that being said, I clicked on a property that's for sale and the whole thing is written for me, right? It's targeting the city where I am. There's multiple templates. You can have different kind of looks here. But I want to point out, if you click on this box up here where the text is, you could say anything you want about this, right? So maybe there's something that is a selling point and it's not there. So you can just put it right there, right? New custom kitchen, whatever you want, right there in that box. And that's the ad. Another important thing is when you're doing, depending on where you are, there's sometimes where there are people who buy homes who are not in your city, right? Maybe you live like close to water or a lake and people move from larger cities to have a second home there. Maybe you are in the southern states and people like to get out of the cold, wintry Chicago's and New York's of the country and buy something down south. You could literally type in Chicago right here. And even if you're in Phoenix, Arizona, they're going to see it up there, right? They're going to see this ad. So that's something that I think is really smart to do if your home is going to benefit from that. There are a couple things here. This button here says change image or video. If you have a video, if you pay a videographer, you should definitely upload that photograph, the video right here where it says upload. But another thing that we can do, because I don't have a video at home, we can also, my computer seems to be dragging a bit here, we can click on multiple images, all right? And 5 max and click insert, and this will create a carousel ad, right? That means when people see the ad, just like I'm clicking here, I can just scroll through this. And if you don't like the order of things, you can say, oh, I'm going to go over here and make that one the last, right? and now the pool's at the end. So you can do that kind of thing. And this makes the ad a little more dynamic, and often it performs better. So if you're running an ad on a home that is for sale, these leads cost around $3 each across the US. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. This is the fastest, easiest way to get buyer leads. If you don't have your own listing and you can borrow one from a colleague or somebody in your office or a friend, pull it in your listings page and you can still run ads on it and get buyer leads this way. There are PDF guides for buyers. There are landing pages for buyers as well. But you get the most leads from running an ad on a home that is for sale, just like I'm doing right here. So that's on the buyer side, $3 a lead, right, on average. If you want listing leads, let me show you the very easiest way to get a listing lead. It's, of course, Facebook. But this time you're going to use a property that is sold or pending or under contract. So the language is, I'm going to do it as pending. I'm going to leave it on lead ads because I like the leads with name, email, and phone number. And I'm going to click create an ad. And here everything is done, right? And we have clients getting listings from just doing, not customizing anything here, just bang, hit that, right? Because it says, hey, this home is pending. It's going to close soon. That's going to affect your home value. Click here for your free home value. That's the message. It's pretty simple. If you sold a home, and let's say that the home was sold, it'll automatically say this home is sold. You might have some data points that you do want to add that might make this more effective. If you sold it quickly, right, in contract in 7 days. If you sold above asking, right, you just put that here. So now if they own a home and you are saying, hey, I can do it quickly and get top money, that's going to make people more interested to respond to your ad. Not everybody does this. Not like what I'm showing you right now. Not all of our clients do this, and they still get listings out of this. They get listing leads and they get actual listings out of this. I definitely recommend, if you want listings, that you get very comfortable running an ad on a property that is sold or pending or under contract, because that's the fastest, easiest way to get seller leads. These leads cost often about $7, not $3. So $7 each. There's a $50 budget. So if you divide 7 into 50, you're going to get 7 leads and have $1 left over. Okay, that's how it works. So that's the easy stuff. $3 buyer leads, $7 seller leads, if you're running a listing ad, right? I definitely recommend it as well. It's the same process, but if you're holding an open house, run this ad for 5 days minimum. We have clients generating 50 to 80 leads for one open house. They use our flyers, they use our ads, they use our print tools, and everything has lead capture in it. If you really want to supercharge your business and get a lot of buyer leads and listing leads, you want to use our tools for your open houses for sure. But let's go back here and let's talk about PDF guide. So when you sign up, part of the process is put your headshot in there and put your logo and your color scheme. And all that is going to flow through all these PDF guides. Okay. And you can download it if you want to read any of them, but you have 80 in your account. 40 are for home buyers and 40 are for home sellers. Okay. So if you want, you can just say, hey, I'm going to do this 5 dangers of overpricing. The green button says create ad. We're going to leave it on lead ads because pre-populated name, email, and phone number. And you click the button and we're going to write the ad. Okay. The only thing you have to do is type in the name of the town that you are focused on. Okay. Orinda. So there's nothing in here about the geographic region. So you could put multiple cities. You could put a wider radius if you want, if you work in a large area. And so that's PDF guides. This is also a good way of getting seller leads because there are 40 different PDF guides. But these leads can cost anywhere from $10 to $12 on average. Okay. And so they're getting a little more expensive when you use a PDF guide. Facebook sets the price per lead. It's not the same throughout the country. It's not even the same for you in the same week. If you run an ad on Monday and you run another one on Friday, your lead cost is probably going to be different. So let's close this. And if we go back to the ads page, we can also create ads on landing pages. Now, landing pages, let's just go over to the landing page section real quick. You get a number of landing pages automatically, like I think 5. And there'll be one over here that's free home values that looks like that. You'll have a new construction. You'll have down payer system. And I think this weird one here, this investor's pennies on the dollar landing page that really we created because one of our clients said, hey, I created this landing page myself, look just like this. And I got a listing. I used it and I ran an ad. And Scott saw that. He's, oh, let's create this and have it available for all of our clients. So this landing page is here just saying, hey, if you're trying to get top dollar for your money, for your home, click here, get more information. So you can also create landing pages on your core area. So remember when I was saying at the beginning of the call, you should take your top farm market and go get a list of people for that town. Once you do that, you should, let's say that town is Elko, Nevada, right? And you just type in Elko. And that will be a landing page for that city. You create that and then you can run an ad and drive people to that. So let's go over to ads. So you can create all kinds of landing pages. You can create them for expireds, for FSBOs. I don't think I would use a Facebook ad, definitely not for FSBOs, because that's not a huge part of the market. It's a small part. So you have to have a more direct approach with some kind of way of targeting them. We have the tools you want to put in front of them. I wouldn't say use a Facebook because you can't target that way. So if we create a landing page ad, and I created a landing page for a town near me called, let's see, where is it? Hey, did I make that? Let's see. Hold on a second, guys. Trying to find something here. Livermore, Elko, Martinez. I want something that's local to me. Yeah, where's my Concord one? Scott's been in here fooling around. Let's do Martinez. So Martinez, I don't think look. Let's just run the ad. This is a small town, another small town near me. And let's see if there's a picture. Okay, so there's a picture in the back, right? So whatever photograph you put on the landing page, it's going to show up on the ad. And you would think if this is about Martinez, that you would want to target Martinez. Okay, that kind of makes sense. There's a challenge here though, right? And I will say this, a lot of our clients don't even create a landing page for a specific area. You don't always get great results if you do that, because when we own a home, we are very conscious. We want to talk to the professional who knows our area in our home, not just random internet things that don't really apply specifically to me and my home. If you create a landing page that says Martinez, and there's a picture of maybe downtown of Martinez or a shopping mall or just some landmark, people are going to respond more to that. Okay. But there's a problem here. And this is not going to be specific for all of you, but for many of you. So let me show you what it is. It's Martinez, California. It's a small town, right? It's a small town. Let's see if we can get there. I think there's maybe 30,000 people there, or something like 37,000. Yeah. And when you're running an ad, any ad on Facebook, it's going to say a minimum radius of 15 miles. Okay. And that's fine if you're running an ad for buyers, but that's not fine when you're running an ad for listings. So this little area where my mouse is circling, that's Martinez. Okay. Just small area. A 15-mile radius, however, is this big. And there's literally more than 1 million people who are going to see this ad that don't live in Martinez. So that can often make these ads not very effective. Okay. But it is something that agents like to do. They don't really go through all the steps that I'm showing you here. And those kinds of ads can be not effective, just a waste of time. But I want to say something here. You remember when I said you could create a custom audience? because you could buy that list from Remine or whatever. You can upload it. I showed you where to upload it so it would live in your Facebook account. Once you do that, you could say, hey, I want to focus on my custom audience, right? I got a seller audience, right? But yours would be called Martinez homeowners or Tampa homeowners or whatever it is. And you just, boom, you click it and it's going to now target the people on that list, not just random people, in a 50-mile radius of the city that you're in. This is a way more effective ad. So if you're using a target audience and you have a good message here or a good photo that's making me know my area, you're going to have a way more successful ad. What's the cost of an ad like this? You can see there's a $50 budget, but these leads often cost $12 to $15 each. So these are the most expensive seller leads you can get from Facebook. $15 isn't bad for a seller lead. I do recommend you're running an ad like this at least once a month because you're telling the market, I can help you get a professional home value, right? That's the underlying statement here. And you want to be telling thousands of people every month, that's what you do. I also think if we go back, when it comes to Facebook, every agent should have a Facebook ad budget of minimally $200 a month. And when I say $200 a month, that's for a rookie agent who really doesn't have much budget, has to be careful, but still needs to get leads and build their brand. If you're in this business, you've been in it for a while, if you manage 1 or 2 listings at a time, you probably should be spending $300 to $400 every month. Now, you're doing this in multiple ads. Maybe they're week-long ads. If you're new and you're just getting your arms around Facebook, I would say do a $50 ad every week. 4 times 50 is $200. That's how you get there. When you spend $200 on ads, people see the ads, right? Not everybody becomes a lead, but your business pages will be seen between 5,000 and 15,000 times if you spend $200 a month. And think of that. If let's just say 10,000 times a month, and you're doing this every month. We have clients who just say, hey, we're just getting phone calls now because we continually run ads. This is usually with agents who have multiple properties that they're running a multiple of ads, right? 2 or 3 a week. And so they get a lot of phone calls because people know, oh, you're a realtor. Every time I'm on Facebook, I see you've got an open house or you sold something or you can offer me a free home value. So they know you're a realtor. And that's awesome when advertising gets your phone to ring, right? And Facebook can do that. I think you already know if you're managing more than 5 listings, you hopefully are already using Facebook because you're able to really supercharge and grow your business, right? Those are the 3 kinds of ads. There's custom here. I really don't recommend messing with custom. You definitely need to know what's going on with Facebook to do that, right? There are multiple landing pages. There are multiple PDF guides. If you have a listing, any of those everything is teed up for you. You pretty much can't make a mistake. So let's talk about Google. Now, firstly, I mentioned earlier, this is the number 1 website in the country, and 86% of all questions happen on this website. Okay. So not everybody can afford to compete on this page, meaning, not all realtors can afford this. But I definitely recommend it, but you have to watch your budget and see when it's going to fit, when it's going to be appropriate. But if you're going to use our Google Ad software, I highly recommend you focus on getting listings with it, not buyers. Because the Facebook ad that I showed you at the beginning, that is the best way to get buyer leads with name, email, and phone number, hands down. And they're cheap because every lead on Google is always going to be more expensive than the same kind of lead on Facebook. Because they're the number 1 website in the country, 86% of all questions happen there, they're going to charge a premium. And it's worth it. The lead quality is much higher, but it's expensive. So you have to really be paying attention. So let's go look at the PDF guides. Now, in the Mastermind group, you can look at, there's a guy named Corey Smallman, and he just came in a couple months ago and said, hey, I went over to Google and I created an ad for 12 mistakes to avoid. Okay. And what town he was in, but you could type in whatever town you want. And you got a $50 a day budget, not $50 a week like Facebook. Why is it so much more expensive? Right. The reason it's so expensive is that a seller lead in Dallas can cost you $30 each. In Pennsylvania, $22 each, and in Utah, $17 each. So I don't know where you're sitting, so I don't know what the cost is going to be because it's never exactly the same. So, however, these are people who are going to the internet and typing in a question. And so if your ad, which is showing here over on the right in a preview, is answering the question and they click on it and they capture a lead, there's a lot of intent there. They had a question, they like your answer, and they like it so much they're going to give you their information. Now this here says view link. So when they see the ad that looks like this on Google and they click on it, it's driving to this landing page right here. And this landing page kind of has a little quick video about things. We're going to be refreshing this, make it look a little more modern here, but they have to give you their information, right? And then they can download that PDF guide for free and you will have that lead. I get a few free leads from Google every year. Oh, cool. Cool. What are you putting on there, Daniel? Are people just finding you and your business page? And yeah, let me know, how are you getting free leads from Google? Because a lot of agents have a Google My Business page on Google, and I think you can capture leads there. I'll give you kind of a pro tip about our system that can help you on Google. Yeah, I get a few free leads. They just find me. Yeah. And Google sends me their info. Yeah. Okay. So let me speak to that. I don't have a business page here, but there's a restaurant over here called Lita. And you see this page here? This is the restaurant, right? There's a map and you can see some photos and stuff like that. Realtors have this kind of page as well, right? So if I do a search like real estate in Walnut Creek, I would show up there. And Daniel, what city are you in? So if people are doing a search on real estate in Daniel City, he is somehow popping up, right? And people are like, oh, I have an answer. So Tampa Bay, yeah. So somebody types in Tampa Bay, let's just go do it right now, Tampa real estate. And when we do Tampa real estate, he's saying he's showing up somewhere because you see all this here, right? Now I'm not sitting in Tampa, so it's not really teeing up those kinds of things there for me because it's people would it's almost like it's ad related. But I want to tell you something since you're bringing it up. I hope all of you are using the social content area here. This is not paid ads. This is a free service that's part of our platform. And you connect your social media accounts. And Daniel, I hope you're doing this because you can connect Google My Business here. And you can tell us how many days you want us to post information. And then there's all the articles, including the PDF guides. Okay. So we'll post them for free with landing pages. And you can choose a few of these kinds of topics. They're colorful articles. Our clients are growing their social media networks on Facebook and Instagram with these. But they're also, the SEO on Google My Business is taking our clients to #1 in their local search. So Daniel, when people are doing search on Tampa real estate in your market, I don't know if you're using that social content, but you would get more free leads if you had social content and made sure that we were auto posting our content. And we've got meme stuff here. We got outdoor living and inspirational quotes and home design, stuff like that. That's going to bring your SEO higher on that. So that's not even a paid ad. That's just a free part of our platform. And that could help you increase your free leads there, Daniel. And all of you should definitely do that if you have Google My Business. So let's go back to the ads and talk a little bit more about this. When people have a home and they have a question about going to Facebook and saying, hey, what is my home worth, right? They're going to Google. And so I have one here for Memphis. So if I click create an ad, you can customize your landing page. What is that? Positions? Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. We're on Google. So you never really see the ad, but just so you know, you can create a landing page. I created one a while ago. This is just it looks like a popular street in Memphis. So you might want, that looks a little interesting to me. You might want something that the locals would know, but That's what is happening here. This ad looks like this. If you're answering their question of the keywords they typed in, this shows up. And if they like that answer, they're going to click on it and then they're going to land on that page there. Right. So just for your knowledge of how this works, you don't have to click advanced options, but I just want you to understand how this thing works. If people type in any of these words that we've automatically placed here for you based on what tool you're using, this is going to be able to be on page one of Google. That's the whole point of why that ad is going to work. And so over here in Tampa, you can see Zillow's up there, right? And homes.com, and you expect that. But are you going to be on page one of Google? Probably not. If you are an average realtor, you're not going to be on page one of Google until you pay for an ad. And these keywords come in, you're going to see. Let's see what happens when I say Lafayette. Let's see, right? Because that's where I am. You'll see that you've got these things here. Here's Dana, the green team. And this is how Daniel is getting noticed here. And then you have sponsored ads as well, right? This changes, like these are all sponsored here. So if you want to be competing with these big portals, yeah, running an ad with those keywords is going to be important. You don't have to use our software to run it, but I guarantee you so much easier. Because if you go do it inside of Google, just take our landing page, which is part of your account, you would have to type in all these headlines, multiple headlines. These are the headlines, and Google kind of rotates them till they can see, oh, people like these headlines. So they keep making the ad more powerful. You see this area here that I'm highlighting? That's called the description, and you have to write 3 of those as well. We put extra ones in there. We do this all automatically. We have a few resources where we know the keywords that people are typing in for either buyers or for sellers. So based on what tool you're going to be using, we know what your goal is, and we put it all together. This is incredible to be able to Google in 2 clicks. Now, I just want to point out those leads are more expensive, but they are way higher intent. So I set up the teams around the country in the offices and the brokers and stuff like that. So I talk to realtors all the time, and I talk to teams a lot. And I remember one Remax team telling me, like, they were saying, we convert 1 out of 70 buyer leads, or 1 out of 70 leads from Facebook. They said we also convert 1 out of 40 leads from Google. So they cost more, but they are a higher intent because they literally had a question and they liked your answer and they clicked on it and they filled out your form. Okay. That's, it's not always affordable for people. I mentioned that these leads cost $30 each in Dallas. And one of the teams that I set up out there, I said, that's a lot of money for a lead. He's, yeah, it is. He said, we sell homes at an average price point of this, and we're totally fine paying $30 a lead if we're able to convert them. And so Zillow is saying 2 to 2.5% from the 100 leads will go through, and very costly today. And very costly with Zillow. Saying 2 to 2.5% of 100 leads will go through. You'll convert 2 and 2.5. Yeah, that might be a true number. I talk to agents every day. Well, Daniel's saying that Zillow is saying 2 to 2.5% of their leads will convert, right? But how much does it cost for 100 leads from Zillow, Daniel? Do you know? Because I can tell you, if you want to, it's probably going to cost you $300 to $350 and $2,700 for 100 leads. Oh, wow. And you're still converting 2%. Let's just say 3%. Okay. That's what Daniel's saying about Zillow. Let me show you. This is from our mastermind group. Remember, I told you how to go here. And I mentioned this guy, Brian Matheson, who has an LPT office, and he's really focused on getting his agents using our platform. He's a realtor. I think he's in production, but he's really focused on getting more business for his agents, right? He's telling us here, hey, you ran an ad. His cost per lead is $1.90 in Texas. And that's for a home that is for sale. That's really good, right? So if he's paying $2 a lead and he wants to convert leads at 2 or 3%, He's only paying $200 for 100 leads. And you're telling me it's $2,700 for 100 leads, which converted 2 or 3%. Now, this is another post by Brian. This is the guy, he's got his office over there in Texas. And he put a video in here. I'm going to play it for you and turn up my volume, and hopefully you can hear it. Let's see. Yeah.
So this list, so how we go approach list. How do we gain listings? Most of you are using the listings to leads platform. One of the things that you can do in listings to leads is hard a property that is either under contract or just sold.
So I'm going to shorten this for you. He's teaching his agents how to run an ad on a home that's sold, like I've shown you. But he also says right after this, he says, yeah, this home was really popular and we generated 114 leads for that home that was for sale. And you could see from that post that he shared just a little while ago, he's getting leads at about $1.90 each. So if it's $2 a lead and you got 114, what? It's like, I don't know, $250. He can, in this video, he'll tell you they converted 4 of those leads. He has a high conversion rate. And I think it really is because he's using text software to text their leads, because the text service, it's fast, right? It's AI, it's powerful, and it gets you, it gets the person up to tease them up to a phone call because they get tired of texting. I'm sure if you've gotten leads, Daniel from Zillow, you're thinking speed the lead and nobody really wants to talk to you. This happens all the time in real estate. And an average realtor will call their lead once maybe, or possibly twice. That's about it. But you actually have to have some communication going for a while. Nobody wants to take phone calls from people they don't know. We all get 100 to 200 emails every day. So if you're sending them on a drip campaign from your CRM, that's not going to be too effective. But people will respond to text. And if they say, hey, I don't want any more, please cancel, then the AI software will stop that, right? But these AI systems get that person back and forth asking really simple questions. And then with this ad, they close that appointment. They got the lead in the morning. They closed a phone call at 4 o'clock. And on that 4 o'clock call, the person wants to sell a home for 400 grand and buy a home for 450. So 850,000 in volume for $150 ad with one $4 lead. That was his seller lead. So for some reason, his lead cost, maybe he's doing a lot of ads or something, but his leads always seem to be cheaper than the average. Maybe he doesn't have a lot of competitors in his area, but he's in the Dallas area, so I can't imagine that. But that's, our clients convert a lot of business. They focus on converting leads. There's no way to get leads with name, email, and phone number in that volume at that cost than Facebook. Now, Google, they're higher quality leads, so they cost more. You should use both. And I know we have a lot of clients up in Canada. Vancouver's over on the West Coast. They have such a different kind of market that seller leads, like running an ad on a home that says, what is your Vancouver home worth? Which I don't have one built. Those leads cost $100 to $300 US each. Can you imagine? Like in Dallas, they're 30, but in Vancouver, they're 300. So I've spoken to realtors because we have clients over there, and the newer ones and the younger ones are like, hey, I'm not even competing. I use Facebook until I can afford to compete on Google, because then there's more money. There's more, I can afford it. I'm going to get better leads on Migros. Our Google ad software, it's been in the platform for maybe 2 or 3 years, but we've had people double and triple their business without Google because we never had it. They just used our Facebook ads, they used our flyers, and they made it happen. I want to point out a couple things. If there are questions, I hope you understand how to run ads here, right? You can do it on the ad page, but I'm going to take you to the dashboard, because when you log in, you're always dropped on the dashboard, right? And you can make a decision. I want buyer leads or I want seller leads, right? And if I click seller leads, we actually have some ads right there on top. We'll give it a second to pull up. that are teed up and ready for you to do, right? Down payer assistance, free home values. If you've got, here's one for buyers from your listings in your account. There's one for sellers. So that's boom, it's sitting right there. Or you can say, hey, I want to do a landing page ad. I want to do a PDF guide right here. So you can do it all from the dashboard. Another good thing to do or to realize is realtors are busy all the time. There's a lot of stuff going on. But if you find that you have free time, log into the account, go to the top where it says marketing calendar, and you'll notice that every business day of the week, we have one task, not go through the whole platform and do a million things, one thing. If I click on listing marketing, I can download the checklist. I can read detailed step-by-step instructions. And then I can say, okay, I want to market. This is the home I want to do it with. So boom, I click that. Now, if you looked at the instructions and you have the checklist, you know the things that you got to do. And number one is create an ad on Facebook right here, right? So let's see if we have any more questions. I see Daniel's got something in here. I'm not working with Zillow anymore, not worth spending, but I know agents are very successful spending $7,000 to $12,000 a month. Yeah. Yes, I totally agree. I think you definitely have to have a big budget on Zillow to be successful. You can't do it with like just a smaller number, especially if you're not really into putting the work into converting. It's just not going to pay off. And I have that conversation with realtors a few times every month, right? It's either Zillow or realtor.com that they're like, okay, I want this contract to end and I want to work with you guys and get my own leads and build my own brand. And then I'll do the work myself. Any questions for anybody regarding what I've been talking about? Do you understand what you need to do to run an ad? We have a lot of other tools. Those are the basics. Let's go over here on listings. I want to show you something over here. It's a little bit buried, but it can be helpful for you. There's on the listings page, it says listing presentation. And we have our own listing presentation. Terry, hold that question for a moment. This property marketing plan is a 27-page document, okay? I recommend if you are a client, you get right to your account and you download this, right? It's going to be branded to you. Doesn't talk about listings to leads. Talks about all the things that we do. But right here, we give you the ability to run an ad to people you know who you are, right? And say, hey, get top dollar for your home with our 100-point marketing plan. So it's telling them a story of what this is, right? Now here it's saying video views. I don't know if I'd want to do that because I prefer lead ads. I prefer lead ads because I want name and phone number of anybody who's going to download this. Bang, you just create it. You type in the name of the town that you're focused on, Tampa, and you do that, right? So there was a question here. Is there training for setting up the market reports? What is that, Terry, the market reports? For me, I'm going to tell you what I think a market report is. When you create a home valuation landing page, you can run ads. We saw that you can run ads on Facebook and on Google, right? There's even flyers and there's even postcards for these things. But there's also a letter. I'm going to show it to you right now. You click on marketing tools. There is a letter that is called the prospecting letter. And this will have, that's weird. Let me just download it for you. And I think this is what you're talking about, Terry, but if not, we'll create a page and go to the market overview. Yeah, I think that's this. This is a single sheet of paper. And it's always going to point back to the previous month because it's January. So you would edit it on the previous page. You'd say, 20 homes sold in Memphis. The high was 400, right? Whatever it is. That affects your home value. Scan this to get your free home value. This is, I think you can create a landing page that goes to the market overview for the month. That's this. That is this, Terry. Yeah, that's right. So we create it automatically whenever you create an instant home value page. Okay. And I definitely recommend that, right? I showed you the print version. There's also an e-flyer version. right? And you can copy this and take it to your CRM and blast it out. All these graphics, that hyperlink, all of those are all call to actions. If they click on any of those, they're going to become a lead. Okay. So whenever you create a landing page, you're going to see tools that you can use. You can run ads on Facebook. You can run ads on Google, driving to that Memphis page. You can share it for free on social media. I think you can even tell us to share it for you once a month automatically, right? Yeah, right here. And then there are door hangers, things. There's even a QR code. And there are a lot of agents who create this landing page. Let's say you lived in Memphis. And I know Daniel's over there in Tampa. Every one of you should create a landing page that has an image that lets people know Tampa. And you should take the QR code that we automatically generated that would take anybody's phone to that page. And anytime you're mailing anything at all, make sure that you have that QR code and say, hey, scan here for your free home value, right? We actually create postcards and door hangers. One of our clients, another guy in San Antonio, Texas, he takes this door hanger and he prints it over a Vistaprint in batches of 1,000. And he just walks the neighborhoods. You see how easy it is? There's your picture. Scan here for a free home value. That's it. Doesn't door knock, doesn't talk to people, just hang it on the doorknob and keep walking. Because the person who's going to scan that actually owns the home probably, and they want to know what it's worth. So by the time he gets home at the end of the day, he's got listing leads, right? It has nothing to do with Facebook. That's what it is. What do you think about YouTube versus Facebook? As some people also listings leads are saying. Yeah, I think YouTube is great. I don't have much in the way of running ads there. I think we'll probably look into that this year. We've got some serious technology we're about to push here. Let me talk a little bit about that. And then after that, I think we will start looking at YouTube. But this section over here, it says leads and follow-up. We're about to launch something called a power caller. So we're going to be like giving you a filter for your top 10 sellers and your hot list for the people that you haven't called. And so that's going to be teed up. This right here, text follow-up. You remember how I was telling you the story of Brian and I said he generated 114 buyer leads and converted 4, and he's using text to warm that prospect up to a phone call? We have our own software right here, right? So we have that same kind of, we're using AI text software. It's really powerful. It's really smart. It will roll with whatever direction the person is talking in. And it is an add-on. It's about $100 a month. So if you are an agent who is focused on generating like 50 to 100 leads every month, you should be signing up for this because this is going to help you convert those leads. Now, remember, I don't know where you're sitting, but you saw Brian's generating leads for $2 each. So 100 buyer leads would cost you $200, right? Now it's another 100 to have text just get those people into a phone call. And if that makes sense to you, you should definitely, if you're going to get into converting leads, you want to watch when we get our power caller set up because you can log your calls, you can send messages, do all kinds of things. You should also think about the text follow-ups. But I also want to talk about these follow-ups. So these follow-ups on this side are actually a drip campaign. Okay. There's drip campaigns for buyers and for sellers. I recommend that you go turn these on in your account. When you sign up, we actually ask you to connect your CRM. And so if you have a good CRM and you have your own drip campaigns going out, great. But if they're good, a good drip campaign to me means you're getting some business out of that, right? If you've got your leads going into whatever, Market Leader or Chime or whatever, Lofty, and you're capturing leads, but nobody's really coming back to you, that means your drip campaigns aren't really doing what you want them to do, right? You want to convert that stuff into business. And I can tell you, we integrate our landing pages and PDF guides. Almost every other message has a new tool of high value that these leads can use. And if they start downloading those, opening them and downloading them, that's what's going to rank a high quality lead for you, right? If they never open your email, it's not going to be a high quality lead, right? But if they're opening it up and they're downloading PDF guides and stuff for more information, that is what's going to give you a higher grade in your leads, so that when we filter and tell you your hottest leads, it's based on their interaction with our follow-ups. So I hope that makes sense. It's not related to Facebook, but this is some new technology that's coming. And like, we've been doing this for 15 years. I think Scott and I are confident enough to tell you that there is no company that generates the volume of leads at the cost of leads the way our company does for our clients. Now, there are a lot of you that won't use half or any of the tools, and we don't really do anything to charge you $60 a month. But for agents that are trying to grow their business, double or their business, or even triple it, they focus on capturing a volume of leads. We have clients here with thousands of leads, thousands. We have an office that generates 4,000 leads every year, right? It's a big office, but that's a good amount of leads for agents. So anyway, how hard is it to create your own landing page? It's not hard at all. What kind of landing page do you want, Daniel? You just go over here to landing page. What kind of landing page? You mean the home value page? If you have questions, let me know. Thank you for hanging out with me. I know we're going a little bit over here. Just for my listing home, we create that automatically. You don't want to create that. So when you go to, it's funny, when we go to listings, we create a bunch of tools automatically and we email them to you, and you may or may not use them, right? You may not even look at our emails because you're getting so many emails. You're bored with us, right? So if I click on market listing, any of my listings, there is a tool called the single property website. You might be thinking, and I'm going to use the lead gen one because I like to focus on capturing leads. So this is a single property website designed for your listing. Okay. There's a lot of information here. There's going to be, in this case, we snapped in a video, but all the photos will be here, the details of the home. And we even have our marketing plan. So people, if maybe a homeowner is actually looking at this, right? The PDF guides that I mentioned, they can download them as long as they give you their contact information. So is this what you're thinking of a landing page, Daniel? There's also a different landing. It's tricky. We varied it, but it's called, if you go to social media post, it says listing landing page. And over here, it says view. This is a different kind of landing page, which it's the same home, but there's not as much information. And it says, if you want details, click that button. And when you click that button, we grab the name and email of the person who clicked the button and we email it to you. The other one that I was showing you, at some point, lead capture is going to pop up, but they can look at a lot more stuff here. At some point, this page is going to pop up and we'll capture the lead there. But this one, there's less information. So this is actually what we call a listing landing page. This is what we call a single property website. Okay. And it's just different amount of information. I'm not exactly sure what you're trying to do. They're both going to get you once you fill out the lead capture form on this page, it's going to drop the person on this page. Okay. Any more questions? And thank you guys for joining me. Try to catch Scott's call. I know he's doing the one on farm marketing. I think it's definitely related. It's a broader discussion of what we're trying to do here. And I didn't mention it. Somebody mentioned YouTube here, and I do want to say this. On our YouTube channel, about a month or two ago, Scott started doing something that I think is very helpful. And that is setting up shorts. So there's things since TikTok, there's people like these 15-second videos, right? Or short videos, right? Everybody's ADD today. So let's cut it down, right? And I appreciate our clients like you come and join us for an hour-long call, but you don't always have time for that. So if you go here to our YouTube channel and you click on shorts, you're going to see 1-minute videos. Some of this is straight feedback from our clients saying, hey, I did this and I got these kinds of leads. Some of it is new technology, but Scott is spelling this out in 1-minute bites. So I definitely recommend, okay, so hold on a second. Sign up for this. Keep an eye on this. Okay. It shows continuous Facebook, but some people don't like the FB at all. That might be true. There's a setting where you can change that to where the default setting is this. Okay. But let me tell you something about asking people to type in their name, phone number, and email. It's not very successful. You can change it so that will be the default deal, and they don't even have to think about Facebook. You will just get fewer leads this way. Okay. People certainly, there are a lot of people that don't like social media and don't like Facebook, but the majority of Americans do. 70% of American adults, 70, spend 40 minutes every day fooling around on Facebook. So they're real comfortable when you put a button that says continue with Facebook. So that's the majority target market is totally comfortable with Facebook. What happened? And so for that other 30% that don't like Facebook, you can present it with something like this. You're just not going to be that effective. You should try both. You should try both and see what gets better leads for you, Daniel. And let me know. I'm at Vince at Listings to Leads. You can find my contact information on our website. Please download these. If you download these 2 documents and print them, you should be acting on one of these flyers, one action on one of these flyers once a week minimally. Just to wrap it up, I think every agent should be running 1 ad a week. They should be email blasting their CRM once a week. And they should be doing a mailing once or twice a month into that farm market that we were talking about. Okay. Have a great new year, everybody. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, your competitors are taking a break because Thanksgiving, potatoes, all that, they're going to take a break until spring. And so the cost of leads drops in over December and January because you have less competition. So if you don't know much about Facebook and you want to learn, this is a good time to learn because your cost per lead can drop 50% or even 90%. We've seen it drop like 90%. So check that out. If you have questions, let me know. We've got a support team down on the bottom. They're always really fast and they'll help you as well. So thanks, everybody. Have a great 2025. This call is being recorded. It'll be on our YouTube channel probably tomorrow. Have a great day.